the
You
staying
weren't
true
paying
to yourself. I am, man.
See?
Staying true to yourself, bro. I know what I'm talking about. It just, I be having a hard time explaining stuff. How's life, Dad?
Ask me tomorrow, Ash, what's poppin'?
Relationships.
Oh, I got all the game. Let's talk about it. Guaranteed advantages made easy for winning relationships. We're gonna talk about 3 key ways to winning relationships.
Major keys.
I like that. That's dope.
DJ Khaled, bro.
Game 101, 3 keys to winning relationships. The first key to winning relationships is overcoming the universe. Universe meaning you, Y-O-U. Focus on exploring and defining, embracing your own insecurities so you can overcome them versus accommodating those of others. It's the most important thing in the world because there's only one you. A lot of times relationships, platonic or romantic, frequently damaging to people, both participants in the relationship, because individual insecurities can manifest in ways like jealousy, envy, possessiveness, and handicap your ability to express yourself, or kind of just distract from the relationship or influence.
Pause. Because I get what you're saying, that relationships can be damaging for your personal growth because of that, but wouldn't you say that relationships can also help your growth? You don't think that people can grow, have personal growth or whatever while being in a relationship too?
Yeah, of course. But that's why it's important to understand yourself first and know what your insecurities are, who you are, the parts of yourself that you're okay with. Because, someone else might perceive your insecurities as a flaw or try to use them against you in relationships, which happens all the time. I'm sure, you've witnessed friends of yours in relationships, or you've had relationships, whether they male or female, where people knew things about you or knew things that you were insecure about and used them, you know what I mean, against you, or, it happens all the time. And so when that happens, a lot of people kind of are intimidated or use it as leverage, or feel like they don't have enough leverage in a relationship. I've seen relationships where the guy is real possessive or real jealous, actually on both sides. I've seen women that's real aggressively jealous about everything. Where you been at?
And it's annoying.
And it's just like, if you're a guy, it's like you stay on 10, always scared, she thinking every little call you getting or every text is you cheating on her or something like that. And that's an insecurity she has that she brought into a relationship. Guys, some guys, they may not be that secure within themselves and are intimidated by how strong their woman is or how sexy she is. May say, oh, don't wear that, blah, blah, who you trying to impress, blah, blah. And who's to say your looks aren't the source of a lot of your confidence? And so if you allow that insecurity to handicap your expression, that can affect you. That can affect your opportunities. That can affect how you feel about yourself.
That makes sense. That's I've thought about that too. I don't know. I just feel like, in certain areas it is possible to grow, because I feel like being with someone also teaches you things about yourself too.
Yeah, if you're...
Because you might not know that you have a certain type of insecurity or something, and then being with someone exposes you to that or something. I don't know. So I don't know. But I agree with your what. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, we all hope that you're with someone that can kind of shed light or help you with or give you confidence in certain areas where you may be lacking it. That's one of the give and takes of being in relationships. But again, going back to that number one key is to know yourself, explore those things and understand these things before you're in a relationship, as much as possible.
That's why I'm taking my time,
Yeah,
because
take your
I want
time.
to know myself first before I have to know someone else on top of knowing myself.
Yeah, because there will only be one you, and that's like key number two. The universe will conspire to help you out, but you got to be true to yourself. Like, if you're trying to be something else, a lot of times you won't get what's coming to you. You'll get what's coming to someone else. And that's not what's up. You want to always be true to yourself, your journey, your process, and who you are, so that the universe can recognize you and all of the blessings it has for you, or all of the opportunities come to you.
Yeah.
Like, that's extremely important.
Because each time you try to be someone else, or try to step out of who you are, you lose a piece of who you truly are. And then it's like a constant battle with yourself of reinventing yourself and trying to figure out who you are. And it's just like, it just slows down the process or something. And it's like you're going to eventually lose completely like who you are, if that makes sense. Because this whole time, or for years, you're trying to be like someone else. You're trying to fit into someone else's life. And that's kind of like what you told me. Like, I remember when I was going into middle school. And I was like nervous or something. It was a new school and all that stuff. And I was nervous, and you just told me, like, never fit in to other people or to a certain crowd. Let them fit to you, like fit into you or whatever. Right. And it's like, I stuck with that, man, because I'm not about to fit into you and go along with this crowd.
Right,
I need to fit in. You fit into me.
Yeah,
and if you can't, then we don't need to be in each other's world.
A lot of people, it really is, and you hit it spot on, because it's like, frequently speaking, and I think it's that's like a key point in relationships, especially romantic relationships. I see a lot of times where, because I think in nature, typically speaking, a lot of times women do a lot more compromising of themselves in a relationship, or conform to, because I would say in typical relationships, the man is looked at as kind of the leader in the relationship to a certain extent. Like, a lot of times women will defer in a lot of ways that are really, important to a man. Even if both people are strong, a lot of times women do want a decisive man, or a man that takes control in a lot of ways. But what happens is a lot of times is you can lose yourself if you aren't really, really in touch with who you are, and staying true to yourself when things are happening, or when you're in a relationship. And it doesn't have to be with a man, and it does happen both ways. Like, I see guys a lot of times when they're with a really strong woman, kind of changing themselves to fit, what they think she wants. And if you do that too much, you lose your own identity. And then when that happens several times, and you're bringing that baggage into each different relationship, when you're by yourself, or when in those times when you're single, after a few of those relationships, you're lost, and you're trying to find who you are, what makes you
find yourself trapped in situations that you were never supposed to be in.
Right. Number 3, buy goals, sell dreams. And that's a real important one, because people a lot of times confuse goals and dreams. And they're not the same. Stop dreaming and set real achievable goals. Never let anyone's dreams, including your own, derail you from achieving your goals. And that's one of my favorite ones.
How, well, I mean, I guess have an idea only because you're my dad, but for other people, how, like, can they differentiate the two, goals and dreams? What can they do to distinguish, like, oh, this is a goal I have, but this is a dream of mine?
A dream is like real general. It's like, I want to be rich, or I want to change the world, or I want to be a writer, I want to be an author. It's like, that's a dream. Like, I always dreamt of being rich. A goal is, when you set a goal, it's like, I'm going to write 5 songs a day, like, versus I want to be a singer. A goal is, I'm going to write 5 songs a day, because you can hold yourself accountable. You understand that if you write 5 songs a day, you're going to get better at your craft. You're going to become a master at writing songs. You're going to have a bunch of content that you could sell, or you're going to have a demo tape that can get you signed so you can actually become a singer. And that's important to do, because a lot of people just live their life dreaming and having dreams. Dreams are just that. It's like something that you see when you go to sleep. But when you wake up, what are you actually doing to bring yourself closer to achieving that dream? That's what goals are. Goals are things that'll bring you closer to achieving your dreams. And a lot of people don't know that. And so they end up never setting these goals and holding themselves accountable.
They just stay dreamers.
Right. And also, you leave yourself susceptible to buying dreams from someone that's able to set goals.
What do you mean?
Someone could say, if you're with a goal-oriented person, they understand this, what we just talked about. So they may have a goal in mind for you, that's achieving, that's something they want to get out of you, that's bringing them closer to achieving their goals. And so they sell you a dream.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm going to be rich. You're going to be rich as long as you're with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, you see this person getting money, so you're believing that you're a part of that. And they may just be using the fact that you might actually, whatever it is, something about you, a gift that you have, or maybe you're popular, or maybe you're very smart, and they're getting all of your ideas and then using them to achieve their goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that happens all the time.
That does happen a lot. I just see that happen a lot, like, to a lot of people, and it's really sad. Cause, like, you could tell, like, even if the actual person that it's happening to, like, doesn't understand right away how it's affecting them, like, people looking from the outside, they can see the effects, like, really quickly, and it sucks.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, you can also have self-limiting dreams. It's like when you buy someone else's dream, like, an example would be, I could be in a relationship with a woman that I really like, and it's like, she wants to get married, or she has a certain rigid opinion of how this relationship should be, but that might not be part of my goal. And it's like, wait, whoa. I got all kind of other things to do. It's like, oh, you got your goals and your priorities a little off from mine. So it's just like, it's important to really, really, embrace yours, buy your own goals and sell dreams when you have to, as long as you're communicating them well and get them enthusiastic about it if you can. I mean, when you have set real clear goals and you're knocking them down, people generally will buy into what you're trying to do. And going back to what I said earlier, the universe will usually also conspire to help you along that path and that journey. But it's important to know what that journey is.
What about setting goals for your relationship, though? Yeah. Like, is that a good thing to do, or is that kind of like equivalent to having expectations for something? Because, like, a lot of people say, like, oh, it's not really good to have expectations for the person you're in a relationship with, or being in a relationship, or whatever. But, if you have goals that you want to achieve within your relationship, is that necessarily a bad thing?
No, because that's a little bit different. in terms of having an idea and a standard for yourself and organizing the way you want your life to go, you know, is always good. I mean, it's typically speaking doesn't always go according to plan, but if you're already really sure what type of life that you want for yourself, you're putting in the work, you know, it's not bad to have a goal. Yeah, those are guaranteed advantages made easy for winning relationships. Now, typically, game is sold, not told.
These three like key points don't have to be just for intimate relationships, I guess I could say. They could be related to business relationships, friendships, any type of relationship. These are the things that you need to know and understand, and even like building a relationship with yourself, because that's a real thing, y'all. That's a real thing. You need to build a relationship with yourself that goes with the first one, like your universe, YOU, universe.
No one's gonna love you better than you love yourself.
And if you don't love yourself, you don't need to get into a relationship. That is not the answer.
Bingo. This has been a Game 101 Guaranteed Advantage Made Easy. 3 keys to winning relationships.
Major freaking keys.
Like, subscribe, hit that bell. Don't be stingy with that. Share and let people know where you can go get that game. It's popping tags. And we out.